Shut up and sit down.
It's a time of the year where you thank somebody and because they gave you stuff, because they might like you.
Broken bicycles, old busted chains, rusted handlebars out in the rain.
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Lee Grand,
Sir Ian Gibson,
Lance Hepler, and Jake Von Turing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go baste the turkey and hide the kitchen knives. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Wheels won't turn when the other half's gone.
Great turkey leg.
I love turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I am Jake Von Turing, here with Lance freaking Hepler.
Lance freaking Hepler.
Freakiness.
That freakiness is here. That's weird.
Hey, where's that dude at across the table from you that usually talks to the ladies and gentlemen of the internets?
We have no Matt LeGrand today. We are Matt LeGrandless because he is actually, this is surprising, he's actually a very skilled cross-country coach.
He's got some athletes on that team, too.
I think one of his athletes won the state championship. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But didn't just win it. I think the next...
smoked it.
It was like 20-something seconds.
Yeah. Matt actually has skills. He's not a poser like the three of us.
Not like other coaches, you know. Is that what you're saying, Hepler?
That's not what I'm saying.
All right, well, in his absence, we got
Sir Ian Gibson.
the one and only Sir Ian Gibson.
Yeah.
What's up, Gibbo?
I got to get back into the Sir Ian Gibson persona. I've not been there for a while, it seems like.
Nice.
I'm just another Brit when I go home to see my mom.
It's just a regular person.
Just a regular person.
Not Sir Ian Gibson with the cool accent.
What have you blokes been up to? You guys want to backpedal?
Stuff.
Stuff and things? Things and stuff?
What are we doing? Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Go,
you,
Gibbo.
you take so long.
Got too much to freaking talk about.
It's been a long time, right?
It's been a month.
It's been a month. Since then, so yes, I did go ride my bike in faraway places again.
You went to Nice.
I went to Nice in the south of France.
You know, some of us are stuck in this time vortex where it's like, you've just seen the movie Groundhog's Day.
Yes.
That's been my life for like the last couple of years,
it's all
especially the last
changed.
6 months. You've been to Europe and all over the place. Lance has probably done 37 races.
I
I've been sitting
did 24 cyclocross races.
I've been sitting in 2 spaces, and I feel like in that whole time period, I'm like, oh, what was that, like 3 or 4 days ago that we did the last podcast?
Nope, it was a month ago.
Let me tell you, at least weekly, I have this moment of doubt where I'm like, should I really have retired? I mean, can I do this? But then when I think of this cool
The mutt's nuts.
I've been doing for the last 2 years, it's freaking great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nice was
The dog's bollocks.
actually, it exceeded my expectations. I had never been there before to that part of the world. And,
How so? How did it exceed?
well, Nice itself is a super cool city. Like, it's so vibrant and
Cat's pajamas.
I don't know. It's just got this great vibe to it. Like there's a lot going on. The streets are full of people just sitting outside of restaurants and meeting friends and eating, drinking wine, and it's just got a really Euro feel to it. I mean, it's just good. Anyway, and then
Were there naked people on the beach?
no, there was not. It was cooler.
That
it was
was
October,
the
so-
weirdest thing that I experienced when I walked down to the Nice
Yeah.
beaches. I'm like, whoa, there's naked
Naked
people. That wasn't expecting that.
He's like, hell yeah.
It was not naked you wanted to see.
Hard cheese.
I was a little late in the year for
Is
that.
that kind of like cyclocross races that happened maybe in the last couple of weeks?
There was also nakedness you didn't want to see there.
Sorry, you can go.
Anyway, I stayed 4 nights in Nice and rented a bike there and did some pretty cool rides. I rode out through Monaco to a town called Menton on the French coast and turned left and went up the Col de Madone, which is kind of a epic, classic ride. I don't
It
think
goes
it's...
up above Monaco? And
So you go through Monaco, which is interesting in itself. You go through Monaco and towards the Italian border. There's a town called Menton, and then from there you head up into the hills.
Oh, cool.
And so it's got all this history to it. I don't think it was ever in the Tour de France, but it's like if you look on Strava at the KOM, it's Pogacar, Froome, like the top 20 places at Tour de France
are all on the Madone.
Yeah.
Well, like,
and then me, I was like 3,500. But I did stop to take a couple of pictures and try to look at my Garmin and figure out where the hell I was.
Yeah, how did you not get lost without me there to lead you along?
Well,
was it a problem?
I did not get lost.
No one's onions.
Garmin, god damn it.
I know.
I'm switching. I'm going Wahoo.
Just switch to Wahoo. Give it a try.
Well, so my maps wouldn't load, and I kept getting this error, like no navigatable routes in this area. And so, you were
really, you had to pull out your phone.
I had to pull out my phone, and then I'd run out of data on my phone, so my map wouldn't load there. I'm like, where the hell am I?
I'm just guessing. The ocean is east. I'm just gonna head east, I guess.
But anyway, these roads are awesome. Like because the Col de Madone doesn't really go anywhere. It turns into a kind of a single track road, and there's no traffic there, and it's just got all these switchbacks. It just, you're looking out over the Mediterranean, you're going up this mountainside. It's just wonderful. And so that was cool. And then the next day we rode down the coast to Caen, stopped and got coffee, as you do, some pastries, hung out. That was another 60-mile day. And then on the final day, I rode across the Italian border and over the Col de Bra, which was phenomenal.
It was cool.
Yeah, so cool. Anyway, it was a good time.
Jij bent een klootzak.
That's right.
Yeah. But that was a couple of weeks ago now. So more recently, what have we been doing? We went out to we did the Michael Myers Memorial Ride.
We did
on Saturday, a couple of days ago, which was
knees up.
Great.
That was great. We had 15 or 20 people there.
15 or 20 people. Did not disappoint. Standard dialed training pace.
I might have been partially responsible for the
You were
training
always responsible for the dial training pace. It was a free-for-all.
It was kind of a free-for-all.
Dickie would not have approved.
Nope. I drilled it I drilled it way too hard. It was it was the day before I had a big race, and I was like, screw it, I don't care about tomorrow. I'm just going to drill it today. I actually had really, really good power numbers.
Yes, you did.
So go figure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was the hardest ride I've done in a long time, actually. And it actually felt pretty good.
Oh, that's funny. It felt like Zone 2 for me.
Yeah. You twit.
I'm kidding, of
wanker.
course. Actually, on the way back down, I PR'd all the downhill segments even without
the van pouring you like last
pacing
year.
The van like last year.
Did you guys have an east wind?
We had
Yes.
we had like a 8-mile-an-hour east wind. It wasn't hard, but it was enough that it was.
Hey, I broke top 10 on that descent as well.
So
I wonder if I'm still in that top 10.
you are. I was mixing up with one other guy. We were swapping Jordan Winger, new guy to town.
Cool.
He's pretty solid.
He is.
Fast.
He's strong. Yeah. I was mixing
up.
it up with
Yeah.
gin coming down there. That was fast
fun.
as well.
Yeah.
So it was good. Good day, and it didn't rain. It's like the best day we've had.
Sun was out.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Dry, warm.
It was a very good day to celebrate Michael and his legacy and what he's done, and it was good to ride with teammates again.
He would have approved. Well, apart from you being a wanker and drilling it.
But he would have known that's my MO, so he would have been okay with it.
Don't be a knob.
All right.
Nice.
That's all I got. been doing
Tosh.
other stuff. Excuse me.
Ian's out of practice. He keeps swearing.
Dude,
Sorry, people.
I've been working on my house, and it's just beating me up. I'm not used to it. Like, I can do a 4 or 5 hour bike ride, and I'm fine. But I work on my house, laying down the floor for a couple of hours, and I just can't walk the next day.
Because you're in pain and bent
Destroyed.
over. This is stupid.
Plus, I was in the gym yesterday, and I just did too many squats. And I can barely walk. Poor old guy. Poor old duffer.
Poor old Ian.
What about you, Hep? What you been up to?
Yeah, I have been racing full gas. So yes, I have done. I did do 24 cyclocross races this year. So and that's in a span of about 2 months or 2.5 months. So it was every week. Every week I did at least 2 races. So
how many
some
times
3.
have you pinned a number on this year then, 2025? You say?
52. I've pinned a number on 52 times.
That's
this
crazy.
year. And I still have one more to go. There's still one more coming up.
A race a week.
Yeah.
What's still left? Is the Christmas lights ride?
There is, but I'm missing that. I'm doing El Tour de Tucson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I'm heading down to Tucson for 100-mile road race. So, yeah.
Because why not?
Because why not?
It's November, right?
That's right. I'm used to doing these full gas 45 minutes efforts. Let's go do a 4-hour race.
Hey, ow, me no.
What the heck? Yeah, so I ended up with one of my best cyclocross seasons ever, and I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I wasn't expecting it to come up. I think last time on the show we talked about how I had a chance at the Portland Trophy Cup to win the 50 plus, and we had 40 or 50 people in our field every week in the 50s, and so I had a chance in the very last race to win the whole series. And oh my gosh, the first place prize was...
You freaking blew it.
And I freaking blew it. I did. So I went out super hot. I'm like, I'm just going for it. And so lap 1, I had a 25-second lead. I had a huge gap.
When was this? Which?
I don't know. This was Portland Trophy Cup.
Okay.
So this was like a month ago.
Oh, God.
So lap 1, I had a 25-second lead because we started third in our wave, and so there was all this traffic to go through, and I moved through traffic really slick this time. I wasn't a jerk, I don't think.
Twit.
I was probably a jerk, but I got through traffic really quickly. It was a 5-lap race. By lap 4, 2 guys caught me. I started to fade because I was going so hard. And so, in order to win the series, I had to win that race, and the guy in second place had to get like 5th. And so, I ended up 3rd. I didn't win, but the guy that I was battling with ended up 5th.
Oh.
So if I had won, I would have won this series, which was a real bummer. They gave away this like Silka toolkit that like the whole hex key set that had
nice.
a wooden case, and the wooden case had engraved Portland Trophy Cup on the face of it. It was a cool prize for an overall. It was really cool. So Jake has the case right there. So it was pretty stinking cool.
Except
so,
you didn't have it.
But the guy who won couldn't go to the awards thing because he got sick, so I took the award thing. But I did give it to him. I finally gave it to him. So
after you licked it?
After I licked it, I'm like, "Are you sure you want this?" And he's like, "No, you can keep it." I'm like, "Webster, I'm kidding. It's yours. I'm not taking this. I'd feel guilty every time I used it. So you're taking it."
That's the worst thing, though, right? At the end of the race, when you are on the podium, you're like, and then the other 2 people on the podium don't show up.
Yes. I was the only one there
So
at the awards party.
Standing there like a corker, arms in the air. And
I am a donut.
Anyway. Good job.
So I did well in the Portland Trophy Cup series. The next series I was gunning for was the Harvest Cross series, Scott Schultz's series, 7-race series. And coming down to the very last race, I had to be in like the top 10 to make the podium for the whole series. And I managed to do that. So I ended up third in the Harvest Cross series, which was fantastic and kind of unexpected. I never made a podium in a single race in that series, but I did well enough in every race that I was able to
consistent
to be third overall. So that was great. The Cross Crusade series.
Yeah, and then you could have stopped right there.
I could have stopped there, but I didn't do the whole Cross Crusade series. But the Cross Crusade series, also a 7-race series. It came down to what happened in that series. I skipped 2 races entirely. There were 7 races, and I had gone to Boise for a work thing for an investor conference that I went to, and I did a race while I was in Boise and kind of got my butt kicked by a bunch of unknown people, which I wasn't expecting. It was really humbling, and I was an idiot for thinking I could do really well out there without knowing anything. But I skipped 2 races, but I did well enough in the other races that I ended up 9th in that series, which gets me a call up for next year in Cross Crusade. So it gets me a call up for next year. So it gives me an option. And who knows if I'll be good next year or not? Who knows? I had some great battles with people. I started to fade at the end of the season because guess what? 24 races is too many. Yeah. It's just too many. And so it got to be a little crazy. A couple of fun stories from the rest of this series. The last Portland Trophy Cup race, after getting third in that race, I did do my first single speed race. I did enter the single speed race. I'd never done one before, and yes, I wore a shiny gold Speedo
Penis
for the single speed race. And it wasn't actually a Speedo. They were like hot pants. So every year at Christmas, my wife buys me a joke pair of underwear. And so I have like 5 pairs of like joke pair of underwear. It's like Superman or like a leopard print, thong or something. Like it's just stupid funny. And so there was this gold pair of like hot pants that were, I hate to say this, they were like 2 sizes too small. It did not fit me very well. There was
you really should have had that pixelated out on the video.
So I put him on and I looked at my wife and I'm like, should I do this? And she's like, it's freaking hilarious. You have to do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going out here and do it. My gut hanging out. I'm like, people wouldn't look me in the eye when I saw them. It's like there was just a few threads holding the side. I just about got arrested if those threads had gotten. It was anyway. It was super funny. It was hilarious. I had to do it because I have no shame apparently, and we only live life once. So who cares? I think I was telling Jake about this, and I think what was your comment, Jake? It was
disgusting.
He's like, Lance, I think you're cut from a different cloth because that's not something that I would have ever done.
Nope.
But it was funny because it was the last night. There was like 10 people in Speedos. I was not the only idiot that was half naked out there on a 50-degree night.
Is it anything to do with being a YouTube star now, or are you just going after the clicks?
It could be. Yeah, that thumbnail did garner some attention.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of attention. So that was a lot of fun. The other very cool thing that happened was the second to last race in the Cross Crusade series. There was they have a costume race. It was the day after Halloween, and there's a costume race. And I woke up that morning and felt like crap. And probably everybody who's listening to this mostly knows this, but I was losing my dog. My dog passed away just a couple days ago. So, and we were in the midst of that, and so I felt like crap, and I didn't want to go do the race, and I didn't want to be around people, and It was pouring rain and nasty weather, and I'm like, just forget it. I'm not going. And so I chose that morning to not go. But it's a costume race. Everybody shows up in costume. Everybody's kind of hilarious and fun. And so I texted my teammate and said, I'm not coming. I don't feel good enough. And so shortly after that, he started sending me pictures of people's costumes. And it turned out the whole trusty Switchblade team, 9 of them, dressed like me.
They dressed up as Lance freaking Heffler.
They dressed up as Lance freaking Heffler. So
gold sparkly thongs and white wigs and a mustache.
No, they all had mustaches. So they all had these big, thick, like Lorax mustaches.
Yep.
They were all glued on. They all had orange jerseys that they had custom made orange jerseys. It didn't say dialed. It said Trusty Switchblade, their team name, but they were orange. One of them was wearing a short gray hair wig. They all wore these big glasses, and 3 of the guys grew mustaches for the weekend.
Nice.
So they grew mustaches for it, and then one guy dressed up like a dentist. So he was in a white coat with a name tag and a big giant like toothbrush on his back. It was freaking hilarious. So he starts sending me these pictures of this whole team all dressed up like me. One of them's walking around and pretending to shoot YouTube videos saying, "This is Lance freaking Heffler here, and I'm here to do the pre-ride." And it was really funny. So he's sending me these pictures, and I'm like, gosh dang it. Okay, I have to go down there.
Yeah.
I have to go down there and see this. It would be rude for me not to like show up and let them like share the moment with me, right? And not to be there. So I thought, okay, screw it. I just jumped in my van and just bolted down there. And my race started at 10 a.m. I left my house at 9:35, and it was in Portland, so it was like 22 minutes away. Like halfway there, I realized I was going to make it before my race started. And so I'm driving down the freeway thinking, actually, if I pull into the parking lot, I throw my costume on, my shoes. I had already pre-packed the van because I thought I might go, but then I said no. Anyway, so what happens was I pull into the parking lot at 9:57. I threw on my dress. I wore a dress for a costume. I wore a homecoming dress, a sparkly, way too short homecoming dress. And so I threw on the dress, I threw on my shoes, I threw on my helmet, and I jump out of my van, and as I'm riding through the parking lot, my race starts. It takes off. So I missed the start by like a full minute. But I rode like past all the 60s were still lined up, the 70s were still lined up, the Clydesdales, they were all like waiting for their turn, and I ran like right to the front of the line, and I'm like, I yelled at the Ober official. His name's Dave Roth. I'm like, Dave, was that the 50s? He's like, yep. And so I just hopped over the tape and like ran and I jumped on my bike and started going. And the hilarious part was everybody saw all these people dressed up like me, but then I wasn't there. And then all of a sudden, I hop over the tape and jump into the race. 30 seconds after the race started happening, and all these people was like, there was all of a sudden there was this cheer and this roar. They're like, "Oh yeah, Lance, go, go, go! Lance is here!" It was so freaking funny. And so I raced really hard for a couple laps. No, I didn't catch everybody. I ended up like 15th on that day, which was kind of hilarious. But it ended up being a really special day for me because all these people, there were Lances everywhere. So everybody was joking. One of the guys actually borrowed a jersey from a teammate.
Really?
Yeah. And, I forgot the best part. 4 or 5 of them had sandbags attached to their backs.
Yeah.
So they had sandbags on them. They all had mustaches. And so there were people like, who's that guy? Is that Dan Beal? I
thought it was Dan Beal.
It wasn't Dan Beal. It was Dominic Chung. It was a guy on Trusty Switchblade. He borrowed a jersey. Anyway, It ended up being a really great day. I took pictures with all of them. Everybody was laughing. It ended up being really special. I'm glad I didn't miss that, and I got to experience that with everybody. So it ended up being really cool. So
That almost makes for a better story. The fact that you weren't going to go.
I wasn't going to go.
I remember something similar with you, Jacob. A road race, Barton Park, I believe.
I
when
did,
you
yeah.
You showed up late.
Showed up late and jumped on and caught the field, and
I'd left, I think it was 7 or 8 minutes after the field left.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And,
Mine was only like 45 seconds, and yours was like 7 or 8 minutes.
I caught the field.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a day.
Was that the day you won it on that?
No, it took me, I think it was like 3.5 laps, and it was Barton Park. And I think that year we were only doing 6 laps of it.
Okay.
So I caught him, and I remember finally caught him. And then
yeah.
Michael's just sitting, because Michael was there.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sitting, like, regroup yourself. I'm like, oh, I can do that. And like a short while there, I'm like, I feel fine. I started doing work and helping out teammates. And I didn't have plans for myself. I was feeling good. I'm like, all right, we're coming into the last lap. We're coming up the last climb of the wall, right? And I'm like, I'm going to help people out. And like, I don't need to win this thing. I won it, like, I think it was the year before or something like that. I want to help people out and whatever, teammates. Get to the top of the freaking wall. And I'm like, I did all of that work and got, recovered, was starting to feel good. And I got a freaking flat tire. So.
Oh, like 300 meters before the finish.
No, it was like going into the last lap.
Oh, this was another lap to go.
We're just cresting. You hit that, your back tire feels a little squishy. All of a sudden, you hear that click, like your rim touching.
Yeah, that's it.
So anyway, fell off. Got a neutral wheel from a sag support. Jumped back on and picked off as many people as I could. And I remember working my butt off again, right? Full on time trial mode again for like 5 miles. And I remember I get to the point where I can see the group. And it was that long straightaway before you get to the climb. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to close this gap before we get to the wall. And I know once you get to the wall, it's going to be an all-out attack. So I don't know. It's like, crap. All of that worked for nothing. But it was fun.
It was fun.
I think that was the day I was. We got onto that last straight on the last lap right before the wall, and Michael said, "Can you string it out along here?" So I was drilling it on that last straight.
Yep.
To set it up for Michael.
Yep.
To attack up the climb.
Did he win that or second?
I can't remember that
Anyway,
particular year.
he did well, yeah. But
I wasn't even supposed to be there, so that was the funny part about it. So it just worked out where I think I can make it. I think I can make this work, and that's the whole. I've told the story before where I get halfway there and realize my shoes weren't in my bag.
Oh, you had to turn around.
Crap. Well, I didn't have time because if I turned around to go home, I wasn't going to make the race at all. And I remember I called down to Michael. I'm like, hey, I tried. I'm halfway there. I just realized I had my shoes. I don't know. And he's like, hold on a second. Like one of our teammates, Chris Wireman, is like, I got a pair of shoes you can wear that size. I'm like, all right. So I got down there and got out, and I'm like, this is gonna just happen. We're just gonna put the shoes on. They fit. I went to go clip in, and I read on Look cleats. He had Shimano cleats on his, and I have Look pedals, and they just didn't marry up. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So it was just one of those things. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like 5 times throughout the whole course of the day. So. Good times. I did win it the next year, though. That was the year that I did the
that you
breakaway.
soloed it.
Yeah, that still goes down in the record books for me personally. Is like one of my hardest efforts of all time.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, the day after the costume race, I did show up on time and actually set a 10 and a 20-second power PR for the year.
Wow.
Because it started with this uphill paved climb, and I just many people just drilled it on that. So anyway, it was a good time.
Cyclocross race.
Cyclocross.
Like you sprint, you drill it straight off the line, and then you spend the whole rest of the race trying to
recover.
Get
your
heart rate back under control.
Well, cyclocross, it's about repeatability, right? So it's always about repeatability. So not necessarily just endurance, but how many times you can sprint out of a corner and then recover enough to be able to sprint out of a corner again. So it just happens, over and over again. What happens with cyclocross?
Lance, your microphone's all jacked up.
What did I do?
Here, nothing. It's just loose. It's making all kinds of jiggly noises.
See, I'm not even listening. I touch the mic.
You drop it down. Sorry
I
about that.
touch the mic all the time. Jake hates it.
All that noise you always hear on the podcast, that's Lance over there, having his way with his microphone stand. Stroking it, rubbing it.
Well, Anyway, hats off. It was a successful campaign. I remember I did give you for preferring to ride around a muddy field and come to the Côte d'Azur in the south of France, but hey, each to his own.
Yeah, and it ended up really good.
Done good.
The season ended for me with our cyclocross championships, which we didn't talk about that. Was that before? That was before we started recording. But we had our cyclocross championships down in the little town of Independence, Oregon. That just happened on Sunday. Today, what day is today? Is it Tuesday?
I think so, yeah.
It's Tuesday. So
Time vortex guy over here. No idea.
2 days ago. So we had our cyclocross championships. I ended up, so I raced in the 55 to 59 category, and there was 16 people in our category. I ended up 5th, so which is about where I expected to be. There's a few guys I can't quite beat.
All math and no trousers.
I had a great day at that race. The race was gorgeous, other than there was a moat that we had to navigate. It was the most ridiculous course of the year as far as unrideable stuff. But it's Eric Tonkin from Selwood Cycle and Repair. He is I don't know if genius is the right word. I love it because it's always very, very tricky to do his routes because there's unrideable stuff that you think might be rideable. But there was stuff that was not. You'll have to watch my YouTube video about that because it was hilarious, and you see people swimming. We were swimming in that race, which was pretty hilarious. So, but that was also a very hard day for me because that was the day that Piper finally she passed away on Sunday night. So I went in the morning and did that race and rushed straight home after the race to be able to spend the last few hours with Piper. My adult children all flew home for the weekend. So my son took a couple days off and flew home on his own to spend some time with us. So me and my adult kids all got to spend the whole weekend together, and we got to spend it with Piper, and we got to be right there when she passed over. We all got to be holding her paw and stroking her head as she went. And so it was a beautiful, heart-wrenching, very sad moment for all of us. Piper was only 10 years old. If you follow me on Instagram or Strava or on YouTube, you'll have seen Piper. Yeah. She was kind of the unofficial dialed cycling mascot. She came to every training camp with us.
Yep.
She was at the last 5 training camps, so she was at all the training camps. So I've had hundreds of people reach out to me and to express their condolences, and I want to thank you guys all for that. People reached out to me through YouTube and through Instagram and through Strava and just any way that they could. People texted me who had my number. So it was very kind of all the people who reached out to me, and I really do appreciate that. Yes, I am extremely sad. I put on a good face when I'm here with my friends, but I have cried more times in the last 4 days than I have in the last 10 years. That's no joke. It was crushing for me to lose her because I spent more time with Piper than probably any other living thing on the planet.
I was just going to say, she's like another child for you.
Very much so.
And you've spent more time with her than your own children over the last decade, I'm guessing, because she like eats, sleeps, and breathes and travels and does everything with you.
She was a dog that actually slept on our bed. We've had 6 dogs in our family. We've never had one that slept on our bed, but Piper demanded it. And so she slept touching one of us. So the last couple nights trying to sleep without her there, or me able to like reach over and put my hand on her when I wake up, which is what I would do all the time. That was just like, that was crushing. It was terrible. So yeah, it's been pretty hard. So if I break into tears again, it's okay. I'm actually not afraid to cry in front of people. You kind of don't want to appear, the masculine part of man doesn't want to appear weak in front of other people. Screw that, man. I don't care if people see my emotions. I don't care if they see that I care for other people. I think the unhealthy masculinity that men show around other men is not good for your own mental health or the people around you. And so it's okay for me to show that.
People see you riding down the road wearing your gold thong Speedo, crying and eating an ice cream cone because you're sad. Don't worry about it. Lance is fine. He's just processing.
I'm just processing.
He doesn't need to be committed. He's fine.
What's funny is I hadn't really processed it or cried about it very much. And I did this race down in Independence, the cross championships. And I finished the race, like racing full gas as hard as I could. And I rolled over to the finish line to pick up my pit bike. And Chris Surratt was there and Chris Hannell was there. He had showed up because Kylie was thinking about doing the race. She did one pre-lide wrap and said, nope, I'm not doing this race. This is dumb. She didn't have the right tires anyway. But I rolled up to say hi, and I just completely lost it. Yeah. I just completely, I couldn't talk. I couldn't think about it. Chris is patting me on the back, and Hannell is like, are you okay? And I'm like, I couldn't even say anything. I just lost it. People are walking by and like, is he all right? I'm like, I guess a lot of people knew what was happening with Piper and what was going on. And it all hit me in that very moment when I'm standing there with two guys that I love and cherish very much. And they felt like safe people to be around. I don't know. I just and plus, after a really hard physical effort, you're
on the edge.
You're kind of on the edge anyway. Yeah. And I blew to pieces.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris and Chris, for being there. Sorry, if I embarrassed you, actually, I don't care. Because that's kind of the way it goes. But anyway, I will miss my dog very much. My life won't be quite the same. For people who wanted to know, she did get, she had osteosarcoma. She got bone cancer. We figured it out about 3 months ago that she had bone cancer. It was way too far progressed when we found it, so it was not treatable. We had a very aggressive treatment plan in place to try to give her another year or two. That once we did full body scans to figure out if it had spread, we realized it had spread everywhere. So there was nothing more we could do. She lived for 10 years, which is kind of
pretty full 10 years too.
That's what I like to say is, I think she went to 45 states with us. She's been back and forth across the country with us 4 times. Mm-hmm. So she's been to every national park that we've been to. She's been to 2 different countries. She got to experience everything. Yeah. She had a really, really great life. So thank you. Sorry, I'm not trying to bring down the podcast, but this is real life, and that's what happened. So yes, my last week has sucked balls. It has sucked. It has been really difficult. It's just sad. There's no silver lining other than she had a good life. She's just gone, and so that's what's just sad about it. So so there. That's what happens. That's how my last month is gone. So now I'm gonna leave for Arizona tomorrow and try to find some sunshine and do one more race. Jake.
What?
Your last 6 months has also sucked.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't think anybody wants to hear any more about sand stuff right now. So let's move on.
It's okay. So
I did it with
bad.
nothing but my own blood, sweat, and tears, and extra blood.
People dope. Yeah. This is a sport with literally hundreds of dollars on the line and dozens of fans. The stakes are medium.
Come on. How do you beat a man on drugs if you're not on drugs?
Wait, did you just admit to being on drugs?
The EPO Chain Mail.
Send us a text with your questions. Forward this podcast to 15 people, and you'll lose 10 pounds overnight without even trying.
You've got mail.
Actually, we don't have mail. I just felt like playing that. So it was like a nice little segue. We've been so inconsistent. Mostly my fault that
people gave up on sending us messages.
People haven't felt inclined to send the messages. Did update the little thing. You should see it on the podcast here pretty soon. It just says send us a text, but now it says send us a message because some people were like, am I sending you a text or are you going to have my phone number? Like, we don't get any of your information. Like, we can see where it came from. That's it.
Yeah.
So now it just says, send us a message.
Send us a message.
You can send us a message and we will gladly get back to you. I should probably change it to say, send us an EPO chain mail message or something like that. But anyway, start to pack up, guys. Send them stuff. We love those. They're fun. And the question that you're asking or questions that other people want to hear, and we love talking about it. So, and it makes our jobs
people are
a little
so
bit more
shallow,
fun.
though, right? You know, you just don't podcast for 4 or 5 weeks, and everybody forgets about it. You know?
Right. That's right.
You know, though, it's been a minute since we posted the last one. Well, actually, I took a while to get it posted because, again, my life has been like way too many things going on.
A lot going on for Jake.
But and it took me a while to edit the podcast that we had recorded, so it probably took a week or two.
It was like 8 days from when we recorded it before it actually came out.
I finally I'm like, I got to get this done. And I some of you guys know I get up at like between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. I know it sounds ridiculous, it's just the way my brain works these days. And I'm like, all right, it's a Saturday morning. I should probably not do work because I literally will be sitting at my desk every single morning at that time and work 7 days a week. And I'm like, I just need to do something else. So I went ahead and got the podcast edited before I jumped into some other stuff. And I posted it up and I didn't really look at much until like a few days later. I'm usually like kind of monitoring stuff and seeing if we got any messages and seeing how the podcast is doing and making sure that's all. And I just put minimal lipstick on that one, created a little thumbnail and put it out there and didn't do too much. I came back and it was like, the amount of listens that we got in that first couple of days was like almost triple what we normally get. I was like, what? What's going on here?
Oh, wow.
I don't know if the algorithm picked up on it or something in the description or what, but it was kind of amazing. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But maybe it was just because people missed us and they told all their friends like, hey, come listen.
Come listen. They're finally back. So what's going to happen on this one? It's going to freaking blow up viral this time.
Maybe. I'll try and get out in the next month. Yeah, but anyway, send us some messages. We'll talk about them. And if you have any suggestions or topics or anything else that you want to chime in on, love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Champ Alley in sports.
Champ here. I will smash your face into a car windshield and then take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner and never call her again.
Not going to call Dorothy Mantooth ever again. Lance
No.
is gone. Champ is here. What's up, Champ?
Champ is here. Nothing.
Yeah.
What has happened?
I was going to say, not much.
There hasn't much has happened.
Some cyclocross
However,
racing
we got some
going on.
cyclocross stuff starting to kick into action here. Do we have any?
We just had the European Cyclocross Championships.
European Cyclocross Championships just happened this last week. Most of the usual suspects were not there or are not there. Wout van Aert is not doing cyclocross this year. Tom Pidcock is not doing cyclocross this year. Matthew Van Der Poel is a question mark.
I read somewhere that he was going to do some cyclocross races.
Maybe he's going to do curse period.
Yeah, just not a ton of them. Because I think he's starting to feel it. He's turning 30 this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that adds up. When you do the volume of racing that guy does, God, I don't know.
Nothing on Lance freaking Hepler, though.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah, what's up
really?
with those
Van Der
guys?
Poel, has he done 52 races
Yeah,
this
that's
year?
a good question. Right, he probably has. Actually.
So
we had the cyclocross European Championships. The World Championships aren't until February, so it's months away. So the European real cross schedule is just starting. They've only had two. I think they've had one UCI race. I don't know. Not much has happened yet there, but Toon Arts ended up winning the European Championships, and by out sprinting Thibaut Nice.
Were those guys in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Toon Art.
Sorry, throwback.
Toon won the European Championship cyclocross race 10 years ago.
Wow.
And then comes around and wins it again. against Thibaut Nice, the son of the great Sven Nice.
Yep.
So, and both of those guys are on road teams and have did a big road campaign.
Didn't Toonarts serve a suspension
Yes,
for
he
some
did.
sort of activity?
He served, was it a 2-year suspension?
Something like that.
He served a suspension for.
So he framed Roger Rabbit.
So Toon framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
But if you watch the post race like interview with Toon, it was really touching. He didn't think he had a shot at all, but he just ended up playing his game really well, and he was in tears through the whole interview. He couldn't kind of hold it together, so it was really quite cool. On the women's side of things in the European Cross Championships, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of the gal who won, but she's tried several times to win. All the big names again, not really there, other than Lucinda Brand. Fem Van Empel, the current world champion, she injured herself or wasn't quite ready. She did 2 races and then she's skipped a whole bunch of races. So I'm sure they're all kind of gauging their seasons for the Christmas curse period and for the World Championships, which aren't till February. So not a whole lot has happened there. So what else? We did have the finish of the Lifetime Grand Prix.
Pretty amazing.
That was really amazing. So the last 2 races, Little Sugar, which is a mountain bike race, which is kind of hairball on difficult terrain, which is very flat inducing, and Big Sugar, which is a gravel race. Again, both these in the Bentonville, Arkansas area. In the craziest thing about Little Sugar, the mountain bike race, was Keegan Swenson had a pretty devastating flat that he had a hard time recovering from. And so he ended up 15th. So he wasn't really in the running for it, for that race. So it really hurt his overall standing. But Cam Jones won it. Cam Jones won Little Sugar. So, and that put him in a spot where for the very last race of the season, Big Sugar, the 100-mile gravel race, that him and Simone Palou and Keegan Swenson were all basically tied for the lead in the Grand Prix. And so whoever beat whoever in that last race was going to win the whole Grand Prix. So it was pretty crazy. And Little Sugar or Big Sugar, they had massive storms the day of the race. And so the 100-mile gravel race got cut to 50 miles, 30 minutes before race time. So all this drama on what to do and how they were going to do it. So everybody had to change their plans, on the fly. They're going to do the 50-mile race. And it ended up being a really tricky race where Matthew Beers got away and ended up winning the race. You know what's funny is Matthew Beers was in a break most of the day with Matthew Wilson, the other Kiwi, training partner of Cam Jones, who lived and he won your race at Barton Park.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Wilson won your race at Barton Park, and he was in the break with Matthew Beers with a good shot at winning Big Sugar and flatted with 6 miles to go and didn't even finish. Flatted so bad that his tire came off the rim.
He was probably not too worried about it at that point, having Barton Park in the bag.
He'd already won Barton Park.
I won Barton Park, and it's all downhill from there anyway.
That's right. So it was pretty crazy that Matthew Wilson was right there. Matthew Beers ended up winning the race, and then it came down to a 16-person sprint for 5th place, and all those guys were in that group. So Cameron Jones, Simone Palou, Payson McKelvin, Keegan Swenson, Alexia Vermeil, they're all in this 16-person group. And so Keegan drills it early and tries to get away from everybody, and it did not work. Nope. He knew his only shot to outsprint Cam Jones was to like try to drill it pretty early, and it just didn't work. And Cam pulled him back, and Cam Jones won that field sprint for 5th place. So he won the Lifetime Grand Prix. Cam Jones, who lived here in the Portland area and raced for Team POA for, a whole season, won the Lifetime Grand Prix, the whole thing overall. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't like save this kind of like he's been to the lab before, and
he's
like
been to the lab.
We've built bikes for him, and like I've traded emails with the dude, and he's coming in to buy like nutritional supplements. And like at the time, we had no idea. Like you knew all these Kiwi guys were fast. I mean, it was the foregone conclusion that they were just at a whole different level.
Yeah,
I had no idea that they were going to be that much better,
like world class.
So and like. We had one of them that was doing some stuff with us at the lab for the last 2 summers. Phenomenal guy.
Finn Mitchell.
I don't know
Super
if
guy.
Finn listens to the podcast or not. Maybe I'll have to poke him on this or send it over to him. But I mean, such a freaking great guy.
Yes.
Just a class through and through, like 5 stars. And great guy. And then he's got all these other guys, and they're just like, where did you guys come from? I mean, you guys are all so freaking cool. But more importantly, how did you get so damn fast? What's in the water over there in New Zealand? So they're doing something right, and it's fun to see them, and it's fun to see the vibe that they bring to the whole scene, because they don't have that typical like roadie, like uptight mentality. I mean, they're just like happy-go-lucky, easy-going guys.
It's a very like New Zealand, Kiwi, down under, Australian kind of, life is good vibe. Let's just have a good time, and it's fantastic. They're just great guys to be around.
I still remember watching the end of Unbound. I'm like, oh, Cameron, dude, you're letting that dude fully take advantage of you. And all the announcers are saying the same thing. And I'm like, this is heartbreaking. He's doing all of this work, and the other guy's just sitting there like sucking his wheel. Don't you know better? And then all of a sudden he drops the hammer. I'm like, oh, he's got a whole nother gear. Okay, that makes sense. So,
he drilled it. So it ended up being really cool. So congratulations, Cameron Jones. Just super proud of you. And it was just really fun to watch and see. Keegan ended up 4th overall because he made that early move, but like he ended up getting passed by like 10 other guys. It was just a little too early. But
I did talk with Finn before he went back to New Zealand. I think it was like August, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was. Anyway, it was this summer when he went back, and we were chatting. He's like, "Yeah, like I'm sure Cam would love to come on the podcast." I'm like, "How about you too?" And like we just weren't able to make a connection. But the world is a small place now with this thing called the internet. Maybe we should give him a call.
I think if we got
some shop.
Cam Jones on and Finn Mitchell, that would be fantastic.
That'd be fun
for the show.
So, there's a lot of people that I need to get on, but
remember it's a 12-hour time difference as well.
That's right.
Is it 12 hours?
Finn is back in New Zealand, but Cam's in Virginia.
Yeah.
So
okay. He's probably got some sort of special visa, something like that. Scott Bicycle's probably called in a favor for him.
Yeah.
So 12-hour difference. So you guys can be over here at when I get up in the morning. We'll
actually it's not 12 hours; it's less than that. But
okay, 4 o'clock in the morning. It should be like lunchtime
afternoon
for them.
Yeah.
Take a work. Good times.
All right, champ out.
No, you're not done yet.
Oh, what else happened?
You didn't even talk about who won the freaking Obra Championship.
Gosh. So Obra Championships down in Independence, Oregon. The Cat 1-2 field had 15 people in it. And
was that a little bit thin for a normal Cat 1-2 field in a Obra
I think so.
Okay.
I think a little bit.
But the numbers across the board for all of the races this year were down. But
it was down 15 or 20% across the board for every race, for every season, except for Trophy Cup. That was huge. Anyway, our very own Paul First, our service department manager at the Dialed Cycling Lab, he won the Cat 2 Elite, or pardon me, the Cat 1-2 Elite state champion.
Yep.
So he was able to negotiate the moat much faster than most people. Plus, there were so many muddy, tricky spots, and
that's his jam.
Paul just has skills like that. He won by over a minute.
Yeah.
So he just got away.
And Paul took it easy on Saturday as opposed to...
I did not.
Opposed to you. So Paul was keeping something in reserve.
Paul was on the Michael Myers Memorial Ride, and yes, he took it easy up that 30-minute climb. He took like 33 minutes, and I tried to drill it in like 28. I hurt myself. Paul was smart. I am not a smart man.
I wasn't saying that.
You implied it enough. So congratulations, Paul.
Yes.
State champion
Awesome, Paul.
in the elite field. He also won the Cyclocross Crusade elite field for the whole series. He was first in the whole series. He's actually winning prize money this year.
Yeah.
Paul has won some prize money. So good for him. We're super happy.
Maybe
for you,
Paul's going to get a contract and you'll be looking for a new service person.
Don't
pull you
say
out of
it.
retirement.
Yeah, forget that. No, we need Paul. That's it. Champ is out.
Thank you, Champ. I think this is the part where we're supposed to talk about the topic of the week that we were going to chat about. That's
We're an hour in.
kind of, yeah. Lance's back pedal was about
Lance
40
brought
minutes.
a whole new meaning to the back pedal.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. There was too many races. How do you cover, like, I did like 15 races. I'm gonna shut up now. Stop.
Yeah.
So the topic, it's kind of two things twined together. It's like, what happens when life crashes into cycling and the both just like explode and like everything kind of falls apart? And then how do you regroup from that to plan to go to a destination trip somewhere abroad? I don't know. That's just me trying to tie two things together. Not so well. That's not peanut butter and jelly right there, or chocolate and peanut butter. But yeah. So have you guys dealt with life issues that have like really, I don't know, derailed your whole, I don't know, cycling thing
Yes,
and your
absolutely.
training stuff? And, you know, what is that and how do you generally deal with it? And then is booking a European vacation to go ride in the sunny weather a great thing to do right away? Or do you need to like actually train for that?
No, actually, just booking a European vacation to do a cycling vacation, you're already going to automatically ride more to prepare yourself for that. You'll be way more motivated to get yourself ready for that trip if you put that stuff on the books, right, Ian?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. Sometimes it's more than motivation that's needed though when life really throws you a curveball. I mean, the last time it happened to me, thank goodness, was 10, 12 years ago, and I was out for a period of a couple of years.
Long time.
I couldn't ride, and
Yeah.
it's tough. I mean, really, really tough. So, but yeah,
I've had periods of time where I've been out for a few months, but I haven't dealt with what Jake has been dealing with for the last 6 months. But Jake was more than just health issues. It was health and life and work stuff all like combined at once to just completely take his free time away. So it didn't help that the health issues you were dealing with really just ended your riding.
Oh yeah. Everything was going great until it wasn't.
It was, yeah.
It's just been like a comedy of injuries, and you normally would say errors there, but it's been injuries. And I think just this past year alone, I've had 3 surgeries, and I'm kind of like dancing on my, like this whole hip issue, whether or not that's going to, and per the doctor, it's not going to happen right away. It's not a thing that I need to go get done right now. I need to go have another little procedure where they do an injection in there to buy me some more time to make me feel good. That worked last time. Hopefully it'll work again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just too many things. And then like work stuff piles up, and then you've got family stuff and personal things that pile up. And it gets to be pretty tough sometimes to push through and make it all happen.
Yeah.
Knowing like all of these things can just on their own take a lot of your time, almost all of your time. And then having to deal with multiple things, you kind of get into a situation where you're like, yeah, this kind of sucks. You know,
and sort of being an athlete puts you in a uniquely vulnerable position. I believe in that for a lot of people, you could still find something that brings you joy, something that you're passionate about if you're going through bad health, but if you're an athlete, the cruelty is that the one thing that really brings you joy, you're not able to do because it's a physical pastime. And so that's like a double whammy. I think
there's so many positive benefits that come from being in a consistent regimen of training and staying fit. And it doesn't have to be training to ride bikes. It could be going for walks or jogs or hiking or running, or it could be, or going to the gym. It could be a myriad of things. And just that outlet gives you so much, like, I don't know, like of a release, and it just keeps your endorphins up, and it gives you that calming effect, and like, all right, I can do this kind of thing. And I've always used riding a bike or just being competitive, to get me through college. I was very much, into like staying fit, and I rode, but I didn't ride as much, but I was still at the gym all the time and staying fit. And then, there was a point in time too, where it's like, you're balancing, like I'd started a business, and there was a point in time where I had a lot of employees and I had a lot of people, and like you're dealing with like the stresses of the world, like 9/11 and the 2008 crash and wildfire, like all of these things. And those are stresses that you deal with, and you're dealing with employees too that have their own problems. And all through that, the common thread was I could always go ride my bike and I would always feel good. Like if you ever feel kind of crappy and things are built up and they're like, and you just need a way to decompress, go for a ride. Go outside, be physically active, do something, and you're always going to come back and you're going to feel a little bit better about yourself. When you don't have that and you've got a lot of things going on, it's like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to deal with this? So
it's a double-edged sword in that way, in that it is that relief when life is stressing you out, and there's a lot piling up on your plate. You can always go and ride your bike. We're lucky to have that. But then when you can't, what else do you turn to? I mean, it's just that's hard, right? It's
self-perpetuating, right?
Yeah.
It's like you feel bad because you can't get out and get that stress release, and so then you feel worse, and it starts to affect everything else in your life.
And there are, and I feel for these people too when they're going through stuff. There's a lot of people that will turn to some sort of substance to mask that that pain, that stress, that anxiety, all of those things. And thankfully, I've never had an issue with that, and I don't even really. I already sleep bad enough as it is. The last thing I want to do is like wake up with a giant hangover earlier than I already am. I'm like, that's just not my thing. It's not my jam. But yeah, it's tough. There's just a lot of compounding things, and I guess I should just go on the record too. And it's like, part of the reason why we haven't been super consistent with the podcast. Yeah, you jokers are always, traveling, you're gone, all over stuff, but we've always made it work. And, Matt's a busy guy too with family stuff, but we've always made it work. But if I've got so many things going on and I've got a bazillion things and my mind's just not in it, and I live in this time vortex where I don't feel like I even know what day or what time it is sometimes, like it just hasn't happened. And a lot of it falls on me, my fault, my bad. And I apologize. But even beyond the podcast, I mean, it got so much to be so much, and I've got so many big projects that I'm trying to work on. I've got like health stuff, and I've got other things that I'm dealing with in my personal life that I kind of just turned my phone off. And I know that's probably like a just putting your head in the sand kind of thing. But I'm like, I hate using this term, but I just did not have the bandwidth for any more. Like I love people, I love all of my friends and my teammates and the people that I work with, but I just. And I don't want you to think that I don't have time for you, but at the end of the day, it's just like I just didn't have.
It was too much.
Yeah,
it was too much.
There was nothing else that could plug into me. It was already like overflowed, so I had to like kind of like strip some things away and like kind of create some clarity so that I could focus on getting through the things that I needed to get through. And thankfully, we're kind of getting to be on the backside of that, and it's good. I mean, like little things too, like stupid things. Getting a phone or your phone blowing up at 1:00 in the morning because somebody smashed your glass door of your shop and went in and stole a $7,000 bike. I mean, that'll stay with you because I literally didn't sleep that night. I think I got like hour and a half, 2 hours sleep was that night. But and then you've got that anxiety that's going to be with, and that was just another thing. I'm like, I don't have time.
One
for this.
more stressor.
Yeah. I guess you could say that when it comes down to it, your friends or the people can be what keeps you going. It's not always helpful to shut them out and not if you cut off communication with the people that care for you, it makes it more difficult on yourself as well.
But there comes a point in time too where you just have to say, all right, I need to focus on a couple of the things. This isn't a forever thing, and it's not intentional, but I understand what you're saying, and I actually agree with you. But it just got to a point where my phone, and I think people in general are just way too tied to their phones. Like I really don't go on social media all that often just because I don't have time for it. But I also just don't want to be on my phone, 24/7. And I'm like, right, this thing, I do need it. It's I'm not going to call it evil, but for this thing, we'll call it a necessary evil. Like I needed to be able to communicate with the people at work. I needed to be able to communicate with my family. And I think I just needed to figure out a way where I can just keep it to that. So there are focus settings that you can set up on your iPhone. And I've got pinned people on there. And somehow Lance made that thing.
I made the pinned list.
there's 9 people I think that you get to have on that list. And then like I opened up some channels for people at work. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to stick to this for a little while. And then I'm going to focus on working on these things that I need to work on so that I can get through the hump. And then I need to also simultaneously work on trying to get myself feeling better so that I can get back to being, healthy and fit and riding again. So we're getting there. But if, I don't know, if you didn't get a message back from me, don't take it personally. I swear I have nothing against you. If I didn't like you, I would tell you as much, and you would get blocked on my phone call and you wouldn't even be able to leave a voicemail or send a text message. But it'll come back around. And I feel terrible about this, but just necessary evil, maybe? I don't know.
I think people can relate to this, Jake. I think a lot of people can relate to this. Not just the fact about being so busy, but dealing with a health issue that precludes you from doing the thing that brings you stress relief.
Yep.
And if you don't have the thing that brings you stress relief or brings you endorphins or makes you feel better about yourself, you just keep going deeper down the hole. I think everybody can relate to that. Everybody's been through some time in their life where something like that has happened. Yeah.
So anyway, bringing that all together, I mean, I'm almost over that hump. So many things have been happening. It's good stuff. I mean, I'm taking bites out of stuff every single day. And when you put it together cumulatively, I'm like, that's a lot of work that I got done. But for the last, probably since late February, early March, I feel like I've been working 2 jobs. You work in your business and then you're working on your business.
Yes.
And both of those have been full-time jobs. So I've been averaging somewhere between 70 and 80 hours a week. Yeah. And that's not sustainable. And it's not sustainable when you start to think about it, right? You've got, a wife and kids, and you got, other things that you need to be doing in your life in general. So, but it's come to the point now where, got a brand new website, and we've got all that stuff that I'm working on getting set up on the back end. So it's a little bit more automated, makes life a lot easier. We're getting ready to move into a new location that'll hopefully be more secure and people won't be breaking it. Oh, by the way, we did get that bike back, by the way.
Yes, the bike was recovered. That was stolen. It's sitting right behind Jake at the moment.
Yes.
That's a whole nother very cool story.
Yeah. So that dude's going to be sitting in jail for a while.
Yep. He was arrested.
Good.
We know some people that are fantastic at their jobs who work in the,
it's good to know people. It's good to know people who are in law enforcement.
I think, going back to what you were saying, there's so many people can kind of relate to that. Like you said, if you're an athlete, especially a cyclist, you deal with other life stresses. It adds, you think about the stress of training. Overall life stress, you can clump it all together.
There's eustress and distress. There's different kinds of stresses, and some of them have a positive effect on you. Some of them have a negative effect on you. Usually when you put those, those two together, the goods can help cancel out or balance out the bad if done correct. So,
right. But it does have a bearing on performance and how much you can train, and depending on how much the rest of your life is stressful. But I mean, so many athletes are dealing with injury, or they've crashed their bike, they've broken their bodies. I mean, it happens, and it's doubly frustrating because the one thing that gives you some kind of out, some kind of relief, is the thing that you can't do.
Yeah,
and I remember being there. I mean, there's a good friend of ours, Jordan. Right?
That's another one.
He was injured in a crash.
A horrific accident.
It's just more than just injured. It was nearly killed. And
he's
got some really horrendous things.
God, the dude's going through it now. It's like all he did. I mean, he rode so much. He put more miles in.
Yeah, he's that guy when you look at the end of the year Strava reports and you're like all proud of yourself, and you look at his profile, I'm like, I'm nobody. I'm a piece of crap.
Well, he would ride 15,000 miles a year.
1 million feet of climbing plus, and it's just bonkers.
The thing, that took a bigger chunk out of his life, the whole riding thing, than ours, and he can't do that now.
Yep.
And it's like it must be excruciating.
Yeah.
It is.
Kind of goes back to, I remember like way back in the beginning of the podcast, we were talking about like managing time and all the other things. And Lance said you can only do 3 things if you want to do, be good at 3 things. You can only do 3. You can't do more than that. And for Jordan, it's like, like his wife, work, and bikes. That's it. He's got no kids, and he good job, Jordan. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So once you figure out that you're stupid and things are, going to get better, and you refocus your life and you get all the things sorted out, and all of a sudden miraculously you feel better, and maybe you're able to start getting back on the bike. How long should you wait before you schedule that trip to go to Mallorca? And how do you set that up?
48 hours.
48 hours.
Back
Right?
on the bike.
That's the most
schedule the
awkward
trip.
segue I've heard for a while. It is though. It's like this. It's like this hierarchy of needs, right? You have to have everything else in place, and then that's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. So let me just ask a better qualifying question. Like, you guys have done that a couple times now, if I'm not mistaken.
We've done 4 trips together, Ian and I.
But you've gone abroad and
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
How much does that change you as a person? How much does that fill your cup? How much does that like just recharge you, reinvigorate you? And do you need to be in peak tip-top athletic performance shape to be able to go do these things?
No, you don't have to be in tip-top. We do them. We've done all these trips more or less in the off season. I guess the Mallorca trip was kind of in the mid-season.
April, May. Yeah.
Yeah. It was over Memorial Day. It was May, yeah. But the trips are incredibly invigorating because it's a new culture. It's a new, it's new roads, new rides, gorgeous scenery. So you add all these things together. Plus, you're spending a week or a few days with just your cycling buddy.
Yeah.
So you're not sightseeing. You are on your bike, but you're not doing any of the other things that you do from like travel abroad. You're just there to ride your bike.
So you suggest going with your cycling buddies and not your spouse?
Yeah, that's a difficult question to answer. I don't know how Ian and I have managed to not take our wives on these trips yet. They probably are angry at us about that, and we've ignored that anger. No, I've had no fallout from that, but other than I've had to promise her a solo trip, which she's done.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the way it works. But they are.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be in you don't need to be in your best shape ever. It helps if you're feeling good, you're feeling healthy, you're feeling fit. Some of these places you go to because what awaits you is a challenge, right? If you want to go to France and ride up the Alpe d'Huez or the Galibier or whatever appeals to you, there's an aspect of challenge in there. So you want to be in some kind of trained shape, but you don't have to be in peak race performance, because a lot of the times, like when I was there in France, I wasn't going up those climbs as fast as I could, right? Yeah. It was fine just to experience them, just to experience those roads and stop and take some pictures and, stop for coffee and pastries and all of that stuff. Like, just immerse yourself in the culture rather than, when you go out at home, when you go out locally on your bike, you've done those rides so many times.
Yeah.
The challenges is going faster or taking those KOMs and, you're doing it for athletic purpose, but
it's more beneficial to be somewhat evenly matched with the person you're going with. Yeah.
So in an ideal world, how long should somebody spend training to go? I mean, because let's just be honest, you don't want to go there fresh off of like an injury or having no fitness at all. It's just not going to be quite as fun for you. What would be the ideal amount of time if somebody's, I don't want to say me, but just in general, like let's say that they ride very sporadically. They're just coming out of like a block of time where they haven't ridden. I mean, would you suggest maybe waiting a couple months and then kind of building up to it and giving yourself a little bit of time to build some fitness and have something that's going to excite you, that's going to make you want to go out and do the training?
I think like 3 weeks would be a good amount of time.
Okay.
Because at 3 weeks, you're starting to already have changes and you're starting to improve things. And then you can use that trip to increase those changes and improvements.
It depends where you're going as well. Like if you go into Mallorca, the riding's just cool there. It's not especially challenging, I don't think. Like the climbs are moderate, nothing too crazy steep. You just go for a relaxing vacation.
Yeah.
I would say Tenerife, I felt like I needed to have some kind of fitness to just to go out and do those kind of distances and those kind of climbs and come back and not feel completely beat up.
You couldn't start a ride in Tenerife without 2,500 feet of climbing just to get to the down spot.
All right. So give yourself about 3 to 6 weeks. I would say 6 weeks just because there's a lot of neurological adaptation that happens in a training program in that first 6 weeks. You're not necessarily going to have you're going to build some fitness, but you want to make sure that you're not going to be dealing with things like cramps and spasms and that kind of stuff. So that, and then pick your destination wisely. Don't just go somewhere just because, that sounds like a neat place, and not doing any like recon on Google Maps or anything like that, or Google Earth, to end up in a place where you're like, man, it's kind of like when we went to that training camp. I'm like, this is pretty cool that we get to finish every single ride with a 2,000 foot climb in like 1.5 miles or 2 miles. Get to the house. We just did a 110-mile ride. Now we're going to climb this damn freaking, what was it, like an 8% or 10% average gradient?
It's so hard.
Anyway, so pick your location wise based on what your relative fitness level is. Have some people,
and who you go with. Like, geez. Yeah. I mean, you could go down to Tucson, Arizona, for a week and just treat it as a base.
Sure.
Just poodle along the bike trail and zone 2 and have a good time. Or you could go down for a training camp with 10 people from your team and just smash it every day.
Yeah.
And that's a completely different requirement.
Yeah. I mean, Mallorca or Tenerife sounds fantastic, but as we've alluded to, that can be pretty pricey between like the cost of airfare and lodging and renting a bike and all of that other stuff. If you're looking for something just to get the best bang for your buck, where would you say to people to go? Go down to Tucson if it's at the winter time, because you can get quite a bit for not a whole heck of a lot?
Yeah, Tucson or San Diego, those two areas, you can pretty much ride year round in those two areas without too much cold weather or rainy stuff. And so those are close by.
I think Tucson has a little bit better cycling infrastructure.
It does.
Less vehicles that you're going to be dealing with on an average basis. However, San Diego is beautiful. I've, born and raised in San Diego County, and I've done my fair share of rides down there, but traffic is just getting worse everywhere, and down there's no exception. So
no
Tucson,
exception there.
It gives you some chances to get off the roads or go ride in some more secluded areas where you're not dealing with so much of the vehicle stuff out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's cheaper to stay stateside. It's kind of a weird thing though. Like over in Europe, even in places like France and Germany, you tend to get more for your money. I think
you think so?
I think the accommodation is better value. Like the food is cheaper. It's cheaper to eat out. It's getting there. I mean, I'm lucky because I get cheap flights through my former employer, but when you go down to San Diego or Tucson, I think the day-to-day costs are probably more than if you spent those days in France or Germany or something like that.
Spain is cheap.
Spain
is cheap.
Yeah.
The food is cheap. The lodging's pretty cheap. It's surprisingly cheap.
But even in Nice, which the Nice is the expensive part of France.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Like I could get up in the morning, walk down to the bakery, get a chocolate croissant and a coffee for €2. Like how much would you spend for? And that's an expensive part of the country.
Yeah, that's
how much would you spend on breakfast here in the States?
That's like true. $8 or something like that in the States.
True.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Well, the other thing that could be a bit of a problem too is like, what if you don't have 10 days to go over there?
Yep.
Or even like, we'll just say 8 days or 9 days. You're losing a full day on each side of that trip.
Correct.
Just traveling.
Yeah.
So if you were to go to Tucson, you and I could get up, we can catch a 6 o'clock flight in the morning.
Yeah.
Be down there and be on our bikes by lunchtime.
Pretty
if we
much.
played our cards right.
Yes, you could.
The hardest thing for me there it was that the journey is long, and then the jet lag. You're 9 hours difference. People complain about the hour when we set the clocks back or forward here, but when you go and you're completely out of whack for 3 or 4 days.
Sure.
So you got to deal with that, and that's another part of it.
Yeah.
Although it tends to be worse on the return than on the way over. At least that's been my experience. Yeah. I'm not so bad on the way over, but on the return, I'm like ruined for a couple of 3 days.
Yeah. Where else in the United States would you recommend folks go, especially during the winter months? Because, for us here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't really need to leave in the summertime because it's so freaking beautiful up here. And this is where everybody wants to come. We might want to go somewhere to ride just to get away from all the people in sometimes. But where else in the country would you recommend that's good for riding almost year round?
Vegas or St. George. Those two areas are spots that you could ride year round, although they're higher in elevation than Southern California. So it can be harder.
Now, we don't have to limit this to just road. I mean, we're kind of talking about road, but I mean, if you're going to throw gravel into the mix and possibly even a little bit of mountain bike, where like Bentonville? Is that
Bentonville? It's generally, they don't get too cold in Bentonville. They do have some cold weather, but it's not quite as bad. You can't beat the roads there are fantastic. The biking infrastructure there is fantastic. So that can be very fun.
Moab,
Southern Utah,
Moab. Moab is a little too high in elevation, so it gets really cold. It gets pretty cold in Moab.
Where exactly? I think it was the Thunder Mountain. Where's that at?
That's in like near Bryce National Park.
Okay, is that area down there decent?
No, it's too high.
Too high?
It gets snowed in.
Okay.
Yeah. So during the wintertime.
The South, I don't. Is cycling good in the South? What about Texas?
Nope.
I mean, I've ridden in Texas once, and I felt like I took my life into the hand just getting in and out of town. But once I got out on the countryside, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I've ridden in Texas in quite a few spots. It's not too bad. It's just there's just generally too many people.
Sure.
The South, and I'm going to get some hate for this, but South sucks for cycling.
It's just the humidity?
Yeah, it's not the humidity. It's the lack of like bike lanes and infrastructure and like Florida. Okay. Florida has one decent route and it's on the A1A. It's like on the coast and it is pancake flat, from Miami all the way up to like, West Palm Beach, that everything else sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, like South Carolina and, I'm going to get hate. South Carolina and Mississippi and, all that redneck Riviera area. I should not. Oh my God. See, I'm going to get hate for it. I don't even know how to say it right.
With all love and respect. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in a lot of those places and man, the South sucks for riding. So I just, what was it? Please, somebody send a message and prove me wrong. Tell me what I'm missing because I've not had good experiences riding in like 5 of those southern states.
I know there's a big cycling culture in a lot of the states in the Midwest. And I remember thinking about this about a month ago when we went to Michigan. So we were in Ann Arbor looking around the University of Michigan, taking my son because that's his like A1 school where he wants to go. So we did a tour there, and then we went and drove over to Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, at State College to visit my daughter at State College. So that route basically took us across the whole stretch of Ohio.
Okay.
Never been to Ohio before. And it was funny because it is flat. And I've heard people joke about, the climbing is when you go over an overpass on a freeway or something like that. That's their climbs. They weren't lying.
It's dead flat.
And the other thing too is, and again, I haven't spent much time there, but I just drove the whole, length of the state there. And I was joking with my wife. I'm like, if you were driving and I laid down and took like an hour or 2 hour nap and woke up, I would feel like I slept for 2 seconds because nothing changed. It all looked the same. So, I mean, is that somewhere? I mean, I don't think I would want to go there as a destination ride, but is that even somewhere where you could live if you were a cyclist? But they seem to like it.
You
Just
find
another subject.
You find your people.
Yeah,
you find your people
exactly.
in each place. You know. So
be curious to know where those people go
where
because
they ride.
I know that they want to go somewhere and ride their bikes, and they're going to want to go do some fun, crazy things, and they've got winter stuff there. Like, where do people in the Midwest and the East Coast go to go ride bikes when it's crappy weather out? Send us a message.
I think the number one criteria for choosing somewhere where you want to leave your local cycling scene and go somewhere to ride differently. It's how friendly people are towards cyclists, right? In the Tucson area, there's so many cyclists down there.
There's a group ride every day.
It's people are used to having cyclists on the road.
Sure.
Somehow you feel safety in numbers, but anywhere you go, anywhere they go over here, even in parts of Oregon, the people can be aggressive towards cyclists.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the number one thing is choose somewhere where cycling is accepted at least.
All right, well, let us know where you would go. I'd be curious to know where people.
I want to go. I'm going to Sicily next. Just to let you know.
You're going to Sicily next?
Yes, we are going to Sicily.
Oh,
who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? That is his name, sir. Asshole, major asshole. How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That's right, sir, asshole, and freaking asshole.
When are we going to Sicily? All right, we're going to Sicily. All right, fantastic.
All right, well, I think that's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
Just want to move on to one last thing.
Let's do one last thing.
Get this old dog and pony show over.
Yes.
Get it done so we can regroup next month.
Okay, me?
Go.
I just sold my bike, my BMC time machine. Yeah. So I used bicycle.com and I was really impressed. It was a pretty slick experience, actually.
It is. They do charge a percent.
Yeah.
And that percent recently went up in the last 4 or 5 months.
I think it's like 10%, I want to say.
Ish. It used to be more in the 3% range.
But that includes, so they're sending me a box, which should arrive tomorrow, and then they pay for the shipping. Mine's going down to California or somewhere.
Sure.
And then you've reached a wider audience.
You do.
I guess.
I do like that way better than the likes of an eBay, because on an eBay you're paying 12 to 15%. It just depends on a couple different factors there, but they do have a pretty good setup there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of low baller tire kicker guys on there. You get a lot of the the questions, but it's not quite as bad as say a Facebook Marketplace. Is this available? And then you just never hear from the person again. But
no, I was quite impressed. It was a good service. It's funny. The guy who ended up buying my bike, I got a new follower on Strava, and it turned out to be the guy who was buying my bike.
Really?
Just checking in on me that I was a genuine seller.
That you're a real rider.
That's cool.
Anyway,
fun.
so yeah, I was happy with that.
It's all about the pictures, huh? That's why you
the pictures were studio.
That's right.
Studio pictures, yeah.
Sweet. Epler.
Okay, so I am headed to Tucson. I'm doing the El Tour, but the main reason I'm going down there is I'm doing this prologue camp.
Yeah.
So the 5 or 6 days before the race, I'm doing this camp with a bunch of former and current professional racers.
Can you cue the asshole thing again?
Cue the asshole thing. So here's the list of people that are supposed to potentially be at this camp. It's Sir Bradley Wiggins, it's George Hincapie, it's Bob Roll and Christian Vandevelde. Jens Voigt is supposed to be there. Chloe Dygert, Bobby Julich, Kristen Armstrong, and Leanda Cave. So I should have a chance to meet most of these people and have a conversation, and hopefully I'll be able to get them into some of my videos.
They'll have a chance to meet you.
They'll have a chance to meet Lance freaking Hepler. So
Lance.
Jij bent een klootzak.
Hepler.
So keep an eye out for my YouTube. Hopefully I catch some of these people, and we'll see what happens there.
Sweet.
Jake.
What?
One last thing.
I don't know. Is the year almost over?
It's November.
I don't know. I don't really have one last thing to share other than I'm getting closer to some normalcy, hopefully getting back on the bike. I've said this before, but I'm really looking forward to next year. There's so many fun things, and there are like I did a crap ton of work recently, and there are some things that I am so excited about, and I'm really like it almost like gets me like pumped up, and it is kind of that endorphin rush that you get from writing. So that part's that's a good solid thing. Some of the other things are kind of sorting themselves out. I feel like my body's starting to cooperate a little bit.
Good.
I'm going to try and go get that hip thing, injection thing taken care of. Dr. Brian, if you're listening to this, you guys never called me or gave me my freaking referral for that. Anyway, I got a bill from him in the mail, but they never gave me the referral. I'm like, that was like a month ago. Come on, dude. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
sorry. Little rant there. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. And maybe just an ask. You need like, with these websites, there's so many things that you need. And there's that whole scene, like if you do anything in e-commerce, it's changing so wickedly, wildly fast right now. But there's always like the little things that do help. So like, if you've ever visited the lab or you've used the lab, I greatly appreciate a review. Like leave us a little nice review. Like
That'd be great.
Matt McGran would say you can leave us a 5-star, like 5 out of 5-star review, or a 5-star review.
Or a 5-star review.
Exactly. On Google. But the other thing too is if you've ever purchased anything from the lab, jump on the website now. Let me know what you think of it. Give me some recommendations, some suggestions and all that other stuff. But go like leave a little review on the products that you've bought. Even if you haven't purchased them from the lab and they're things that you know and like and love, go leave a review on there. I'll make it worth your while.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, if you could do that, help a brother out.
Bribery.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good times. So anyway, I think that's about it. Do you guys have anything else that you feel like you need to say before we get out of here?
Nope.
No?
Negative.
No more cross races?
No. I don't think so. Maybe? No. Maybe? No.
No? You sure that's not where Matt's at?
I'm not sure.
I don't
In
know.
cyclocross, I just finished the race and I was like, that sucked. Crashed a couple times. My bike handling isn't that great. Guess I'm not good at this. And I thought I was going to be good.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys are looking good. And particularly good, looking good today. I mean, I don't know. You guys seem to look good every week.
Thanks, Matt. Miss you, bud. It's been a minute since I've seen Matt, too. And he literally, I could ride my bike to his house in about 40 seconds.
Yep.
I could probably get there with probably 10 pedal strokes. Anyway, we'll see Matt soon. So, all right, I'm going to shut up. It's time to move on. Thank you for listening. When are we going to be back?
I don't know. We will do another podcast someday.
Sometime before the end of the year?
Yes.
We'll be back with another one of these days. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.
Favorite part of the bird? Well, Loader, actually, I prefer the stuffing. Because, it's like this stuff, and then you stuff it in the turkey's butt, and then you pull the stuff out, and then you eat it, and then the stuff comes out of your butt.
Yeah, it's the damnedest thing, And then after it comes out of your butt, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. You can take it.
Beavis, that's enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get into the holiday mood, Trying to help.